Holy shit! They have trebuchets on the walls, and they're trying to hit our trebuchets that they break in the walls. Hey there, YouTube. My name is Ink Raven, and today I want to discuss, is the Elder Scrolls Online any good? The first thing I really want to talk about is the biggest question I get asked from everyone else, is does it play like Skyrim? And I'm going to answer this very quickly and very simply. No, not even a little bit. You may watch videos or read about the actions that they do online. However, I should inform you that you have your primary attack, which is your mouse button, which you can then click or hold. You have a block, which is right-click, and that works for every single weapon, even if you have two weapons. Now, if you remember in the Skyrim game, this was your alternate attack, or your left hand, or this was your shield raise, if you had a shield. But this, no matter what it is, that is your block. Even myself as an archer the entire time I was playing online, that was my block. I would hold my bow up. Now, then after that, you have buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe 5, and R. And that's it. You also have Q to do quick items. This includes stamina, health potions, mana potions, but you can't switch between weapons. When you're in combat, you are stuck with that primary weapon. However, I believe around level 15 you can actually switch between your primary weapons, but I didn't get that high in the beta. And unlike Skyrim, where I could put a fireball in one hand and an ice ball in another hand, you can't do that in Elder Scrolls Online. I can't, swing with my right click. That's block, like I said. It doesn't zoom in an archer like it does in Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It's pretty upsetting, to be honest. Now take this next statement with a grain of salt. The game plays a lot like World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2 mixed together. It has the questing and kind of the overall feel of combat from World of Warcraft. And this is a good thing, because the questing in World of Warcraft was very simple. You go to an area, you gather the quests of the area, you go out, do that, and then you go move to the next area. This game has the same feel to that, but it's very good. It's very standardized for an MMO, because you have to have it where there's a level of progression. You go through areas correctly, and a lot of MMOs do this. But it has the combat of something like Guild Wars 2, where you have quick dodge abilities, where if you double tap A, W, S, or D, you quickly roll out of the way of combat. You have an active shield system, so instead of just stacking up armor, you actually have to manually block the attacks yourself. So the game's very action-oriented. It has a lot of that single-player role-playing game feel to it, even though it's an MMO.
Puppy killer? Come to steal me books? Well, who? Where? What? When? Sometimes why? Speak up! Honesty is the best policy, as far as you know.
Now, these are actually really, really awesome. I quite enjoyed the combat system within the Elder Scrolls Online. I really enjoyed, how if I delivered an attack, it was instantly representative. It felt like my attack had some weight to it. The enemy instantly took damage. The enemy had a hurt animation. It was very well done, and I really appreciate the game doing that for me. Allow me to say this. When I was recording this video, I was not planning on doing a first impressions or a game review. I just wanted to capture some footage of me and my friends having fun playing this game. And the truth is, I accomplished that. From the moment I started this game to the moment that I stopped, I greatly enjoyed the time I spent with my friends. The community was outstanding. Now, this is a beta weekend with 500,000 people playing together on one mega server. I enjoyed the way that the questing system was laid out. I can't expect the game to let me just run off in any direction I want, pick up a quest and the furthest possible point, and then continue on, because the truth is, the game has to have it where you're confined into an area that's the same level as you. Unlike the Elder Scrolls Skyrim or Morrowind or Oblivion, the monsters grew with your level in those games. In this game, that doesn't make sense. There's no real way of doing that without cheating the higher level players. One of the advantages of leveling is you get to see more of the world. And from what I saw, I really did enjoy exploring. I would go off to do a quest and run into a different little area, and there's a whole bunch of new quests for me. Something that wasn't part of my main quest, wasn't expected of me to find, but there it was, this small little town. Here's some more quests. And I really enjoyed that. I felt like a tourist in the world. Now, to be honest, this is something that I've seen in other Elder Scrolls games. For example, in Skyrim, not only was I a known champion's leader and a known werewolf, I was also the leader of the Mages Guild. I was the leader of the Brotherhood, the Thieves Guild. There was no Fighters Guild, that was the champions. But I was Dova King. I saved the world 3 times over, and I'd still walk the streets and no one knows who I am. So it's kind of something I've learned to expect from the Elder Scrolls game, or even Fallout franchise, the fact that you can go so very far and your exploits really aren't acknowledged. This game has that same exact opinion. I've already saved the world by level 10, and no one knows who I am. Now, the one thing I did really enjoy was playing with my friends. A few bellyaches that I'm going to complain about is this game has phasing. And if you played World of Warcraft, you know what phasing means. It means that when you go and complete an area, the world slightly changes. For example, there's one area where a village is on fire. So you go and put out those fires. So from now on, for the rest of the game, you no longer see that village on fire. Well, when my friend came through the area, he hadn't completed that quest yet. So the village was still on fire for him. So I disappeared out of his entire world. I was just a giant chevron floating in the air, and he saw a village on fire. Until we both completed that quest at the same stage, we could not see each other. We could not interact with the same environment. And that was really, really annoying, to be honest. It was actually frustrating, because we didn't know what quests he had. I had no idea what quest I was... Well, I know what quest I was on, but they didn't do a very good way of showing who was in what area. And it was very frustrating to flat out disappear off the face of the earth because I had completed a quest and they hadn't done that quest yet. However, I can't complain about it because I enjoy the fact that the world does change while I'm going through an area. Now, I could talk about this all day long, and the truth is, I need to bring it back down to the basics. I really just wanted to ask you guys and create a discussion, is the Elder Scrolls Online any good? And the truth is, yeah, it's actually really, really good. I really do prefer this over any other MMO that's on the market right now. When I was playing the game, I felt myself becoming addicted to this world. I wanted to wake up and log in and spend my day in it. It went through my mind a lot. So, yeah, the game's really good, and it is definitely with its flaws and huge letdowns. They flat out told us lies about a lot of the stuff you'll be able to do. Here's an example. You can't pickpocket NPCs, which I remember them saying you could do. I remember they showed the Interact where you could, put a bucket over people's heads. You can't do that either. So there's a lot of elements in the game that aren't there that I really wanted to see, but I didn't know how they would implement. And the truth is, they just got rid of them. Just to summarize, the combat's great. The interaction system's great. I really love the characters' animations. From running, sprinting, the / dance, all of those options, they're very fluid and fun. There's an option where you can do / sit chair, and your character pulls out a chair and sits on it. I mean, I thought that was really neat. The game has a lot of cool features in it that I just really, really enjoyed. This is definitely not a groundbreaker. It's not a wow killer, but it is fun, and I do recommend it. Yeah, it kind of sucks that they're not doing a free-to-play, model like Guild Wars 2 did, but the truth is, you can't really expect them to. The reason we pay subscription fees is we're paying for that tech support. We're paying so the developers can give us constant data, the server maintenance. All of those elements are the reason you're paying a subscription fee. Yeah, it really sucks, but with those subscription fees, we are expecting a much higher quality of service. For example, I've personally never had an issue with this, but Arena.net, who makes Guild Wars 2, one of my friends had an issue with their Guild Wars 2 account, and it took them like 2.5 weeks to reply back to an email to the guy. I'm used to like World of Warcraft, Star Wars The Old Republic, games where there was a subscription fee, and if I needed an issue resolved, I was put in at the most an hour-long queue to go talk to a game master. And I really expect that from an MMO, because when your boots become missing or a quest doesn't work, you don't want to wait a week to get a reply back. You want a resolve right then and there. And is that worth $15 a month? Not directly, but the fact that, you're employing a staff, the fact that we are going to see constant content and constant evolution of this game, yeah, that's what makes it worthwhile. And I do honestly expect the game to go to a free-to-play, just like Star Wars The Old Republic did. Just because a lot of people were expecting to go there, and I could see people doing a mild boycott. I know that sounds childish, but it could definitely happen. But as it stands, is it worth the $60? Yeah, I say it is. Is it worth $15 a month? Yeah, it really is. I mean, this is a constant evolving game. And while I only got to level 11, I believe, I really enjoyed it. And those first 10 levels are really the, you know, is the game going to make it? And I can't tell you in-game progress. I can't tell you anything after 11. What I can tell you is at level 10, I unlocked PvP, and I've never, ever had more fun in a PvP arena than I did then. The PvP felt like PlanetSide 2. Literally, I was in a battle where I had 150 people at my back, and we were charging over 300 people. Maybe I'm exaggerating those numbers, but that's what it honestly felt like. Seeing an entire sea of red rushing over you was a rush. And it was actually something that I will probably keep with me, is during beta, I saw an entire hillside covered with enemies charging right at me. And I had a ton of fun doing it. So, I've made my points. I'm a huge fan of the game. Yeah, it has its letdowns, but it definitely makes up for them. So what I recommend doing is there's about to be an open beta. The game is 25 gigabytes to download. If you have any inclination about buying this game, download it. Play the beta. Let yourself fall into this world, and you'll be surprised where it can really take you. Don't listen to the internet hype. Don't listen to people who are just really negative against it because they had failed expectations. Walk into the game expecting it to just be nothing, and let it guide you and see how well you enjoy it. Again, we're looking at an open beta coming up very soon in the next few weeks. So keep your eyes open on the website. YouTube will definitely let you know, and when it comes out, download the launcher and play the game. It's a great chance for you to find out if it is for you. I can't recommend it enough. This game was actually really appealing to me, and I'm really shocked at the large amount of backlash it got when the NDA and the Non-Disclosure Act was taken down. I personally really enjoyed the game, and I was a naysayer. A lot of people who were hyped for it really aren't for it anymore. So I recommend lowering your expectations a little bit and taking it for what it is. This is not Skyrim Online. This is the Elder Scrolls Online. And it's an MMO, and it's actually a really good one. Anyway, guys, this has been Ink Raven. Give me some feedback on what you think about this video. Let me know if you disagree with me, and give me some valid reasons. Maybe there's a lot I missed. I only got to level 11, and there's 50 levels in this game. So, you know, if you got further along than me, or if you didn't see the things I saw, definitely let me know. Because I'm only seeing my perspective of the game. You know, technically, the very first time I got to play it, I was playing at my friend's house, and they had a really horrible computer, so I didn't really enjoy it at all then. And when I was sitting in my own home computer and had a more powerful machine, I definitely enjoyed the game a lot more. So send me a message, you know, comment, like, subscribe on this thing. I mean, I put a lot of effort into making this video for you guys. I know it wasn't edited to be a review of first impressions, but I really wanted to show some of the game footage that I was able to recover. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. Let's see if we can't get some more videos about this game out. See ya. We are driving like the Hind, or the Hive.
Zerg rush.
It's exactly what just happened. There is close to 70 people running around me, and we are zerging everything. I don't think anyone knows what's going on. They're all just spamming buttons, because things will be dead and people are still randomly shooting things off. Like, we are zerging like a motherfucker. Up, combat just north of me. Zerg, 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 zerg. Zerg, 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 zerg. No! Combat over! No! Zerg fail! Red still has its...
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I was when I started today.
I'm almost to level 10. Almost to level 10. I just have to walk all the way.